Yes, welcome again. This video we'll be looking at the view menu. We'll be looking at various menus. Today we'll be looking at the view menu and the options that we are given there. Now in the main menu bar, the standard menu bar, working on a Apple. There is of course the Apple. Then there is the software that you're working with, the program. You have the menu for that, then file, edit, utilities, view. Right? We had looked at window, plugin. We're going to be looking at tools, the MIDI, and the documents. But today we're looking at view. There are different types of views that you can use in your work layout. One of the views is a scroll view. Now the scroll view, as the name suggests, gives us a continuum of the document. Right? So it's really just spread out in front of you from left to right. So without much explanation, I'm gonna just be adding some stabs. Right? So I could get a view of the music. You would see at the upper left hand corner the bar number changing as well as writing this the measure number. So all of this is the scroll view. Wow, I got connection lost. Seems as though my battery is weak. Alright, then we were on the page view. Now with the page view, of course, you're seeing how it would be laid out on paper, and you can determine which is the left and right papers. This would be a right side of a paper, or the cover part. Yeah, the ones that are together, here would be the left, here would be the right. So right, left, right, and so forth. And so this is the page view. Also in your view, there's studio view when we are dealing with especially the performance data, where each staff is corresponds with a strip. But in the meantime, I bring up the mixer window so you get an idea. Right, this is a mixer window and these are the strips that each correspond to these here and to each staff. Each will also correspond to a specific instrument, which you can choose a device and a specific sound from the sound bank in the instrument. So that is the studio view. There's also the option of magnification. You can zoom out, making the view that you have smaller, right? As well as you can zoom in. There's also set zoom values, such as like 200. Makes it really big, twice size, normal size 100, and there's 75, which is I guess 3/4 the view. Then you have the option of giving another size. So like if I want 125%, and it scales the view to that. Also, whenever you do a view, you could it keeps the last one in memory, so it would go back to the 75. And if I want to start back to what I did, this is the 125. So it's always have the last view percentage in memory. You could also define specific views. Like if you want one to be a different view from 100, you want it to be 125 for argument's sake, you could set up your own document settings such that it would reflect these various views. Alright, so this is just giving you the view dialog from the preference. So you could apply and say OK, and that will take setting. You can access that from um, let's just see, preferences. You go to Finale, which is the program menu. You go to preferences, and it carries up it pops up the very same dialog screen, right? And if you have done several changes, as I have done just a while ago, you go to File, Save Preferences, so that the software, each time when it opens, would take into consideration those preference changes that you would have placed. Now you could add bookmark, like if you want to, you have a large document that you're working on, so that you're doing a orchestration for an orchestra, and you're a clarinet player, okay, and you are working on the clarinet part, and it's a collaboration over the internet. You could bookmark specific points so that you know where you are last at, and that's just an example of the use of a bookmark. But bookmark really allows you to remember specific spots. Alright, I will skip over the staff sets and come to that at a later time. But these views really allow you to choose like a set of staffs and save that grouping so that you can view it at a particular point. Like the woodwinds, you could just view just the woodwinds, and this is the same thing with the tool set. Alright, now there are different layers in which we type. Layers meaning that in the staff or on the staff, sometimes you may want to put a soprano note, an alto note. You could enter each part in a separate layer. So depending on the layer that you want to be accessing at the time, you could go to view the layer, and then when you put in the notes, the notes would actually go in that specific layer. Alright, so right away the color goes red, which symbolizes that we are in layer 2. Were we in layer 1, the note would be black. If I remember correctly, layer 3, the notes would be green. Let's try and see if it's green. Alright, and layer 4, the notes would be blue. Okay? Now you can also access that from the bottom left hand corner of the parent window, from the window, sorry. Layer 4, layer 1, you can change the layers. Now when you are not in a current layer, it shows like pale or opaque, a bit transparent there. And the one that you are is active, you can view that. Alright? If it is that your screen isn't displaying your objects clearly, there's a redraw screen function that actually refreshes what you have displayed. That's the purpose of the redraw screen. You can also show the grids. Let's show the grids. Alright, so if you are working in terms of laying out things, the grid option is something that you probably would want to work with. You can use either colors, you can use lines, you can change the different styles of the lines, use dots, dashes, right, so that you get to lay out what it is that you are working with in an aesthetic manner. Solid lines, alright, so this is the function of the grids. Pretty much I do not use the grids. Right, I use the guides, I do not use the grids. Now the guides are basically the rules that we have, so you can show your ruler, show your margins, so you can have an idea how your layout functions. Okay, so you just go to show, and displays those. Alright. Now there's also, especially for arranging, if you're not sure of the range of the instrument or of the player's ability at a specific level, all of those are built in, and you could set your various colors for your notes to be colored, notes that are out of range and stuff like that. So that gives you a guide so that you don't really write notes that persons cannot be able to make based on the level that they are at, obviously. Right? And the colors that I was referring to, all of those you can change them, do whatever you need to do so that you can be comfortable. For me, I leave them alone. I just learn what the defaults are, what they represent. And finally, there is full screen, where it dispenses with whatever else that can be displayed on the screen, and just your work area is showing. I now brought up the menu bar, and this is where you go to the far right hand corner to stop the full screen. You can also access full screen at the top right hand corner. There is the full screen arrow that exists there. Alright, so I hope that this is useful. The reality is we have different products, and I'm working in the OS X for Mac. Persons may be working on a Windows computer. I may get around to doing videos for Windows computer, but if it is that the location of different items are in a different place, it will be similar. Alright? So from machine to machine, that's between Linux, Macintosh, Windows. The concept is the same, but just the location where things are in your workspace could be different. So be observant, and there are other videos that persons would have prepared on Finale. Feel free, search for them on YouTube, Vimeo, and other sites, and just start using the product. Alright? So catch you in